Welcome back. I'm blessed enough to be joined right now by head coach Vince Alexander of our 8th ranked USC Aiken men's basketball team. How you doing today, Coach?
Doing great, Brian. How are you?
I'm doing well. Let's get into it. It's been we're 6 games into the year. How do you feel about your team so far?
I feel good about this team. I think this team is, still learning a lot. We got a lot of new guys who are trying to understand what we do, how we do it, but we're dependent on those guys. So, I think we played some games where we didn't look as good as we like to look, but it's also very early, and we still have a lot of work to do, and I think we'll do those things, and you'll see a really good team.
Talk about, you were 5th last week in the poll. You moved back to 8th because of the loss, but talk about, the reason you stayed in. It's got to be part of that schedule. I mean, it's been a tough schedule so far.
Yeah, it's been a really tough schedule, but we told our guys coming into the season it was going to be a tough schedule. We need to prepare every night. Also it doesn't help when every team out there that you play wants to beat you. They get up for you, and they want to be the team to knock you off. And so we have to be able to match that intensity every night. And with a schedule like we've had so far, and we're going to continue to have a tough schedule, we got to be prepared, and we have to be ready.
I put you on the spot a little bit, but if you had to give a grade to your team, since it's exam week here at USC Aiken, what kind of grade would you give to your team?
Right now, I'd probably give them like probably a B minus, something like that. And we got to get to that A area, but I'd give them a B minus right now. We still got a lot of things we're working on and try to get better.
Well, let's step into, you got about to head into the winter break pretty soon, but you got some pretty important games coming up, starting this weekend with Columbus State, which will be your 3rd and final Peach Belt Conference game of the fall semester. Talk a little bit about that, what you expect from Columbus State.
Well, Columbus State has a new coach, and they have some players that didn't play the first semester that may be playing this weekend.
Yeah, we don't know much about that yet.
And we don't know a lot about that. One of them was their leading scorer last year. One of them was the leading shot block in the conference last year, 7-footer. So we really don't know, what they're going to be like. They could be a totally different team this Saturday. But I think right now they're a good team with a new coach. They play hard, and they do a lot of different things. Hopefully we'll be ready to go, and I think we'll be able to go in there and play hard, play well, and come out victoriously.
Well, and then after that, you got a really great tournament here, the ConocoPhillips Quality Energy Services Holiday Classic. That's a mouthful, but it's going to be a great tournament. I know you're pretty excited about your sponsors, so talk a little bit about that and talk about the tournament in general.
Oh, well, we have some great sponsors that makes this possible. The Roberts family, they've just been very, very instrumental in bringing this classic here. Teresa Roberts has just been very huge in that. We really appreciate her and her family and what they're doing to make this all possible. And it does bring in some quality teams, Mount Olive, Shaw, and Virginia Union, who cracked the top 25. It's going to be a great event. I think people should come out. It's going to be 4 fantastic games. And a great 2 days of basketball.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, next week, Thursday, Friday, the 16th and the 17th, 5:30, 7:30. With you playing the late game, 7:30 on the Thursday, and then on Friday, 2:30, 4:30, because they got to get ready for the Aiken 175th birthday celebration. So we're playing some afternoon games on the Friday, but a great chance to see some tremendous basketball.
Yeah, that'd be a great opportunity to see some great basketball, and we're sure hoping that Aiken will pack the gym for us. Again, like you said, we play at 7:30 on Thursday, and then on Friday we're playing at 4:30. It's sort of a non-traditional time, but we're sure Aiken can come on out and get in there and support us like they normally do, and we can have a big crowd.
Well, I know I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for your time, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, I'm joined right now by USC Aiken head women's basketball coach Mike Brandt. How you doing today, Coach?
Doing well, Brian. How are you?
Doing very well. All right, we're 10 games into the year, 8-2. Would you have taken that when the year started?
Well, I think probably still with
Yeah.
the schedule we have,
Yeah.
being on the road as many times, just having 2 home games. So I think if I was rolling the dice, I would have taken 8-2.
All right. Well, you weren't nationally ranked this past week, but if you looked at it, you'd be 29th overall. You know, you've had a great year so far. What do you think it's going to take to get into those national rankings?
Well, obviously a couple more wins.
Yeah.
And I think the 2 losses that we have been good opponents.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia College State University, the only loss is to Land, who's ranked number 2.
Yeah.
And then Henderson State just has 1 loss against the Division II program. So I think the losses that we have are flukes. They're, if you could call them quality losses, they are. And then the quality wins that we had. So, it's just hard. And then people always say this, that it's hard to break in there. Once you get in there, it's hard to get out of there.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense. There was one team in there that had, they were 4-2, and the 2 losses they just had this week, and they were by non-ranked teams, so you have to stay in the top 25. So I'm not sure how it works, but I'm on the committee, but I'm still not sure how it works.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what it takes sometimes. But, at the same time, you've had one of the toughest schedules in the nation. And that's one of the reasons I say, what's it going to take to get ranked? Not just because, not all those other teams are deserving, but, you played one of the toughest schedules in Division II basketball. Talk a little bit what's going on with that. I know that you were supposed to go to the Disney tip-off, but that got canceled. We talked about this before, but you had to play 2 regular season tournaments now. So kind of talk about what you've had to go through earlier in this year with 7 straight road games to start the year.
Well, I think, part of it was that was brutal on our players. We physically, coaches included, got very, very tired. But also, I think it really developed us as a team. I think we're much more united than maybe we could have been just by going out on the road. I think we're a lot tougher. That's one of the things that we really focused on was the toughness of getting tougher in college basketball game. And so I think the 7 road games definitely have made us a lot tougher.
But you were 3-1 in neutral site games and 3-1 in road games. So that, that's pretty impressive. And it might not matter right now, but when it comes to selection time at the end of the year, I'm sure those are things that people take into consideration.
I think so. And our disappointment is, we've set a lot of goals, and we had one be 4-0 on a neutral floor, and so that's the only goal that we don't have that's achievable yet this year. So that's disappointing. But I guess if you set your goals high enough, you're going to have to not make some of them, but hopefully we can achieve the rest of them.
All right, well, you're 8-2, and we're about to enter the winter break. But before we do, you have a few games left. Kind of talk about what's left for you starting this weekend with the Peach Bowl Conference game against Columbus.
It's going to be very tough. Columbus State being 5-1. He does a great job there. Travel down there and play that game. It's going to be tough for us. Whenever you play your first conference game at home, you want to get off to a good start. So I know they're going to be psyched up and ready to go for it. In our situation, we're very, very happy to be where we are, 2-0 in a conference, and to get to 3-0 would be great. And then following that, we play Shaw, who's a very tough team, and they took care of Francis Marion on a neutral floor, and then finish off at Lenore Ryan. And I know that's going to be a much different game. We took care of them down here and just played extremely well, hit a lot of shots, but we go up there, I'm sure it's going to be a lot different. So 3 tough games. If we could possibly get 3 wins out of that and be 11-2, I would obviously be tickled to death.
All right. I did this to Coach Alexander earlier too, so I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. It's exam week here at USC Aikens, so if you had to give your team a grade, what would you give them so far this year?
For their wins and losses?
just overall, as a team.
I think I would have to give them about an A-.
Okay.
I've been very pleased with them, and I think they're going to do well in the classroom. They're a very serious bunch. They get after it on the floor in practice. We've had very few poor practices, which is important. They're just a joy to be around. Usually you have a few, and they get old, on the road trips, get us home. But this is a fun bunch. They really enjoy each other, and, I enjoy being around them, so definitely an A-. And I guess it would be, the 2 losses would be wins. You'd have to give them an A+.
Yeah.
We'll settle for an A- for right now.
Well, thank you for your time.
You bet. Thank you.